To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And did you know there's a word for that idea? Let's talk about phenology. Phenology comes from the Greek word pheno, which means to show or make appear, so phenology is literally the study of appearances. But more specifically, it's a subset of biology focused on the cyclical or seasonal occurrences of natural phenomena, like the changing of the leaves or animals going into rut in autumn, or the first flowers blooming or migratory birds returning in spring. The idea of phenology is incredibly old. The Chinese kept phenological records as far back as 900 BC, because knowing the timing of natural phenomena is important for things like agriculture and festivals. However, the term phenology may not have been coined until 1849, when it was used by a Belgian professor of botany, Charles Francois Antoine Morin, a student of another botanist who had made systematic phenological observations of plants all over Belgium. But why do I think you should know the word phenology? Why should you care? I actually became fascinated with the idea of phenology during my undergrad, when I was dual majoring in English and environmental education. In my environmental ed courses, we spent a lot of time outside discussing phenological events. For my English major, I wrote a thesis, and I decided to focus on an interdisciplinary topic combining my main interests. So I wrote about books like A Sand County Almanac, Walden, Pilgrim at Tinker Creek, and other nature journals that record the phenology of the natural world surrounding their authors. In my thesis, I made the argument that these books have real value because they allow their readers to experience the natural rhythms of a place and time, even if they can't physically go there. So yeah, personally, I think phenology has a lot of value because it helps us connect to places in nature through deep and repeated observations. But phenology also has values that are more broadly applicable to society. For instance, phenology can help us predict things like allergy season and mosquito season, which are both important human health events. And people have been using phenology for a long time to optimize the planting, fertilization, and harvesting of crops. Just think about the Farmer's Almanac. Phenology is also incredibly useful when we think about our ecological future. Most obviously and importantly, phenological observations allow us to track the effect climate change is having on our world. For instance, if winters get shorter so the air gets warmer earlier in spring, insects might emerge before their food plants are flowering, and then what happens to those insects? Prior to the modern scientific age, there weren't very many measurements of the natural world. Devices like thermometers and barometers weren't common or even invented yet if you go back far enough, but observations of nature, like the appearances of plants and the behaviors of animals, were still sometimes made. By comparing the values for modern events to ancient ones and understanding more about why certain events take place when they do, we can infer a bit about our past. Making phenological observations can help land managers deal with invasive species issues, and we're better able to understand ecosystem processes and functions like nutrient cycling and carbon sequestration with the help of phenology. A farmer would obviously like to know when certain weeds that could compete with their crops are about to start blooming, or when certain insect pests are likely to start emerging. If you'd like to become more aware of the phenological events happening around you, the easiest thing to do is to start a nature journal. Your entries don't have to be long or elaborate. Just recording the first day you see a particular species of flower blooming, or notice a particular migratory bird has come back to your neighborhood is enough to get started. And who knows, maybe someday your journal will help scientists learn about the phenology in your area. Had you ever heard the word phenology before? What do you think is the most valuable application for phenology? Have you ever read a phenological journal like the books I mentioned? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. If you liked this video, don't forget to like it. If you didn't like this video, please share it with someone who would. And if you'd like to support the Roving Naturalist, remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon, as well as check out the new Patreon for this channel. You can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I've started a new project with some friends called Nature Check, and you can check out links in the video description to the video and podcast versions of the show, so please go give that some love. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.